Welcome to the channel, ladies and gents. Today I wanted to talk about some of the chaos that's going on in Britain. It seems that the initial incidents and the government response started when far-right mobs set fire to hotels housing asylum seekers in Rotherham and Tamworth. Following the 6 days of chaos across UK, the Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, yes, the same one that said Black Lives Matter was a moment, held an emergency Cobra meeting on Monday morning with ministers and police representatives at Downing Street to address the violent scenes. On Sunday, he condemned the violence and assured that perpetrators of the far-right thuggery would face legal consequences. Interesting choice of words. Over the weekend, 147 arrests were made in major cities including Manchester, Liverpool, Hull and Stoke. Involvement of Tommy Robinson, currently in Cyprus, he has been accused of inciting the riots through inflammatory online posts. A fresh warrant was issued for Robinson's arrest after he failed to appear for a contempt of court hearing. A judge in Belfast described the violence following the anti-immigration protests absolutely disgraceful, he said, and refused bail to two men involved in the case. A man by the name of Derek Drummond indicated a guilty plea for violent disorder and assaulting an emergency worker in Southport. There are other legal cases involved with a person by the name of Brian Gilby, who admitted to burglary during Sutherland disorder but denied participating in the protests. Another by the name of Leanne Hodgson pled guilty to violent disorder after being seen pushing a bin toward police in Sunderland. In Liverpool, a library was damaged by rioters and they received about £50,000 in donation for new books. Malaysia issued a safety warning to its citizens in the UK due to the anti-immigration protests and riots. So they basically just want their citizens to be safe while in Britain. Nothing wrong with that. The police have attributed the violence to online disinformation spread by high-profile figures. Interior Minister Yvette Cooper condemned the riots and noted the role of online misinformation in exacerbating tensions. The broader context. Apparently these riots were sparked by the misinformation following a knife attack at Southport that killed 3 girls, wrongly attributed to a radical Islamist. So they're pretty much just looking for a blame, and 3 girls got stabbed and somebody blamed radical Islam for it. I've heard a similar story. The protests and riots spread to multiple cities with rioters targeting asylum seekers, mosques and businesses. So it's pretty clear what the problem is, or it's pretty clear why people are rioting. But nobody's actually addressing the elephant in the room, it seems. The knife attack at Southport, leading to misinformation about the attacker, is what initially sparked or began the process of sparking the flame, or sparking the fuse. Far-right mob set fire to the hotels in Rotherham and Tamworth. Riots broke out in multiple cities including Liverpool, Bristol, Tamworth, Middlesbrough and Belfast. Once again, the emergency meeting was held by the Prime Minister Keir Starmer to address the violence that has been taking place. Arrests and legal proceedings. Apparently over 147 arrests were made over the weekend, and estimates are that up to 400 people have been arrested so far, and they are continuing to evaluate the CCTV footage in order to identify and make arrests on more individuals. A judge in Belfast once again condemned the violence and denies bail to the accused participants. Persons charged with violent disorders and related crimes in Southport and Sutherland. Apparently, once again, the police and government blamed the online disinformation for the driving violence. Elon Musk, the owner of X, weighed in on the violence, responding to a post that blamed mass migration and open borders for the disorder in Britain. And then he wrote, quote-unquote, "Civil war is inevitable." Once again, Yvette Cooper, the Interior Minister, told broadcasters that tensions had been amplified, inflamed online, and the government would be pursuing the issue with social media companies. She thinks that what you've seen is that networks on different levels and groups have been trying to fan the flames, she told Sky. Swerving questions on whether foreign states had been involved. While she said people had views and concerns about issues such as immigration, she blamed extremist, racist, and violent groups for the violence. I'm going to play some of those videos now.
And I want to make it absolutely clear. They have nothing to protest against. There is nothing in a sense of injustice, and there's been no spark which has led to this. This has been senseless violence and senseless criminality on a scale that I have never witnessed before. This has been an incredibly challenging situation. And my officers are out there now, still facing incredible levels of aggression and violence, and still making arrests as we battle to regain control here in Manchester and Salford. We will continue to make arrests as the evening progresses. But again, I want to be very clear on this point. We have extensive CCTV footage of all the activity that has gone on tonight in Greater Manchester. We have made it absolutely clear that as early as tomorrow, we will come and arrest people who have been committing acts of violence and criminality against Manchester and Salford and other parts of Greater Manchester. And I would ask all members of communities across Greater Manchester to think very carefully and seriously about who they support and who they want to bring to justice for these acts which have ripped the heart out of two great cities.